This lesson formalizes what we have already encountered about constructing sentences in the past, present and future tenses. We first looked at this using the simple present tense with the addition of some time indication such as yesterday, today, tomorrow. We have also looked at some simple modifications to the basic sentence structure with le and hui. Now we look at some new ways to change tense. Simple present tense. It's important to recognize that when first learning Chinese, there is no need to learn the equivalent subtle distinctions that come naturally to native English speakers. For example, English has several main forms of present tense. I eat is the most basic form, but we also use I do eat, I am eating. In Chinese, these are usually rendered the same.
我去
Why do you ask me? Why ask me? Why are you asking me? Are all okay as Why do you ask me?
为什么问我
Emphasizing the present. I eat fish, I do eat fish are both okay as 我吃鱼, but if the do is to provide emphasis, of course I do eat, I certainly do eat, then use an appropriate emphasis word. For example, to say he does have as opposed to he has, where the emphasis is on does, use 确实 or 当然, both meaning certainly, as in I certainly do eat fish.
我当然吃鱼
He does have a girlfriend.
他确实有一个女朋友
Does he live there is just a question form. He lives there is the same as does he live there and doesn't have the same emphasis or significance as he does. Does he have a girlfriend?
他有女朋友吗
Present continuous. Present continuous is how we say that something is happening and continuing to happen. For example, he is watching television, which is slightly different from he watches television. Chinese has at least two ways to modify the basic verb for this purpose. The first is achieved with zai, which literally means at. So, he at read a book is the way to say he is reading. He at the moment is reading. In the following two sentences, we move from watches to is watching, present continuous. He is watching television.
他看电视
他在看电视
Another way is to use zhengzai. He is currently watching television.
他正在看电视
Further examples of expressing present continuous using zai and zhengzai. I am eating fish.
我在吃鱼
They are coming slowly.
他们正在慢慢来
Current state. This is subtly different from present continuous, easier perhaps to understand from the context. If we were to say the door is open, we are describing an ongoing or current state of affairs rather than an ongoing event, as in the door is opening. Current state is achieved by the addition of the suffix je. The door is open.
门是开着的
门正在打开
The equivalent of ing. Present continuous is often expressed in English with the addition of the suffix ing, as in he is sitting. but that is really a current state rather than an ongoing event, so we can use je. They are sitting still.
他们坐着不动。
Is your telephone on?
你的电话开着吗？
And the negative of a je statement uses没有. The door is not open.
门没有打开。
They are not sitting still.
他们没有坐着。
Simple past tense. The English simple past or past perfect can be expressed by adding le after the verb. In other words, we have an alternative to relying on words like yesterday to indicate tense. I bought a book yesterday.
我昨天买了一本书。
This morning we had buns for breakfast.
今天早上我们吃了包子。
If a question involves the past tense, as in did you go? Did you go?
你去吗？
The answer can be either of
我做了，去了。
We can also use the suffix 国. You haven't been to China yet.
你还没去过中国吗？
I have only visited Hong Kong.
我只去过香港。
The English construction to have done something can also be rendered with the use of 国, as in she has read the book.
他读过这本书。
Have you ever been late?
你们迟到过吗？
Past continuous is rendered like this. I was driving home.
我开车回家了。
昨天我在吃鱼。
Past perfect and pluperfect tenses are all rendered the same, again using le.
我吃了鱼。
I did eat dinner, but I didn't have breakfast.
我吃了晚饭，但我没有吃早餐。我吃了晚饭，但我没有吃早餐。
Interestingly, I am late also uses le, but this is to balance the sentence. Give it the right number of syllables. I am late.
我迟到了。
Not all past tense sentences attract the le or guo form. Always remember you can use some other means of expressing the past, such as before,
以前。
yesterday,
昨天。
once.
曾经。
The future tense. In many circumstances when first learning Chinese, we can avoid expressing tenses at all, especially when it's made clear from the context that you are referring to a future action. In English, we would say, I will go to school tomorrow, but there is a redundancy in there. Removing will doesn't result in any loss of meaning, as in, I go to school tomorrow.
我明天去上学。
However, it is possible to express future actions directly, as in, I will ask him to go to Paris.
我会问他去巴黎。
It's going to rain.
会下雨。
Today I'm going to tell a story about China.
今天我要讲一个关于中国的故事。
It's going to rain.
会下雨。
It's going to rain.
要下雨了。
Sometimes the particle d will be added to make the sentence feel more balanced. It will come.
它会来的。
The future continuous tense can be expressed simply. I will be eating fish.
我会吃鱼。
Auxiliary verbs are words such as will, shall, want to, have to, must. We just met the first two. I will be eating fish.
我会吃鱼。
我想吃鱼。我要吃鱼。
And here is must. These examples are equally good. I must eat fish.
我一定要吃鱼。
They must eat fish.
他们必须吃鱼。
Auxiliary or stative verbs. Some verbs that modify other verbs, auxiliary or stative verbs, such as to like, to do something, to want to do something, to be able to do something, are constructions you have met before. Like,
喜欢。
想。会。
I like drinking coffee.
我喜欢喝咖啡。
We want to go to China.
我们想去中国。
Can you speak English?
你会说英语吗？
Do you speak Chinese?
你会说中文吗？